Hey guys, we're back with another video, and this week's going to be a bit different. I'm going to take you through a day in the life video. So it's not going to be like Ashton Hall. I'm not getting up at like 4 a.m. and putting my face into some ice cold water. Nothing like that, but it is going to take you through a very, very busy day at AntiGravity. And you know, not every day is this busy. I'd say the start of this day is pretty normal across the board. It's very much going to be like a typical super busy day at AntiGravity. I probably have 1 or 2 of these days a week, and the rest are a little bit more tame and chill, but the start of it is normally the same. So let's dive in. I normally start my day around 5:30. I wake up with bleary eyes and just kind of doom scroll for about 20 minutes before actually getting out of bed at 5:50, getting ready and going to the gym for 6:15. So I'm normally there by 6:15. I'll run down to the gym. This particular morning's quite nice. It's quite sunny. Here I am at the gym doing some god awful tricep dips. Honestly, I should have watched this video afterwards. My form there is absolutely terrible. Then I'm back, showered, changed, got a protein shake as well because I'm trying to lose a tiny bit of the post-wedding timber ahead of a honeymoon that we're planning at the moment. And we're out the door by 7:30. We drive to work in the morning. It's a lovely sunny day, and I'm driving in with the new studio director and my wife, Rachel, and normally do a little bit of a catch-up on our way in. So we'll talk through the plans for the day, which Des will show you now. I know you hate this. It's Wednesday. We have our co-director, Rachel Cook, here. What's the big plans for the day then?
Busy, I think. We've got a couple of things we need to get over the line for clients and projects. I'll be working with Esme on delivering those today. And then I think I'm going to put a bit of a social media plan together for the AntiGravity channels, and really just try and be a little bit more considered on of what we're posting about. I mean, I don't think there's been a post on that Instagram for God knows how long.
2-3
so
years.
It's time to revamp that and get us looking ship shape on there. Yeah, that's it.
But first, coffee. So yeah, they'll normally get in for around 8:30, have a coffee, quick catch up. Esme and the rest of the team, including this wild developer known as James, who we work with. James and Graham are the 2 developers we work with at AntiGravity. They're just absolute powerhouses and fantastic mates. They do all our websites. They did the recent AntiGravity website, we've had absolutely amazing feedback on, which has been really, really sweet. And then we just, sit down, catch up, have a bit of a morning whip. We talk about the work in progress. In particular this week, we're tackling a huge launch of a brand toolkit for our client. We've been building loads of branding assets for our client for few months now, and we've collated it into this toolkit which will roll out across the entire business, across 300 plus staff who will have access to this toolkit. And what it means is that everything that the client does and the employees do will be consistently on brand. So every single touch point will be branded and consistent, and there won't be any sort of wild files out there. And so we've been testing that. Other than that, we've got 2 big animations in at the moment, which I can't speak too much about, but they're pretty much going to take up most of this month. So very excited to dive in and work on the storyboards and the illustrations and animations for them. It's going to be really cool. And then that sees us through to about 10 o'clock. So for the first hour of the day is just very much that catch up. And then at 10 o'clock, we had a really nice visit from our client, Steph. So Steph was coming in to talk to us about a potential retainer. She is an absolute marketing powerhouse. I've known her for years, and she works in the bar business now, and she's looking to really just grow her business and grow the business's presence and just grow the brand itself. So a retainer with AntiGravity is really going to help empower that with campaigns, fresh visuals, landing pages, social as well. So we'll kind of work with her on all the touch points possible to really boost the brand. But it was a lovely catch up. And then once Steph's left at 11:30, I get a chance to lock in on some design work for a good hour or so, just smash through some emails, smash through some creative, and then get ready to head off to meet our client based in the Northern Quarter to talk about the brand toolkit and really start to test that. But first, en route, caffeine is definitely needed, as is bite to eat. So grab some food on the way and a little bit of a coffee, and then head into the offices to thoroughly test the brand toolkit for the afternoon. And then it's the pub. This particular pub had a nice ode to Wigan in it, with the Wigan kebab featuring Pride and Place. I just caught up with Rachel for a quick pint before we headed into the Only Brands event held by If Agency at Cupra Garage. Quick schooner before I head in. And then we're at the event, and the event is absolutely class. Cupra Garage is a really nice venue, and essentially we went to hear from business leaders and marketing leaders from across various industries, but the big sort of talking panel was the head of Biscoff, marketing at Biscoff, the head of marketing at Faith in Nature, head of marketing at Kenji, and the head of marketing at Akai Outdoor Wear. And it was amazing. There were so many different perspectives and so many things I've learned. And yeah, I'm going to share them with you now. So one of the things that really came out that was pretty huge was the fact that I think we came out from the head of Biscoff talking about how print is no longer dead, and they really think that's going to come back big because we have so much data now, and we can sort of laser focus and target individual audience members within our target audience. We can actually do really insanely targeted print ads. So you can have a print ad that can just be like, we see you're in the nature of looking for X product, here's a brochure. And the thing is, with digital, you don't get that kind of, I don't know, that sort of feel. There's a bit more something human about print. And I think that's what's been really coming back. So it was Biscoff saying that print's really coming back huge. And she anticipates that over the next few years, that's really going to grow and expand because it can just be so targeted. That was one big one. Yeah, the next thing I kind of really took away was that Faith in Nature. So Faith in Nature talked a little bit about their story, and I might make a bit of a video on this. So Faith in Nature are a brand that have been going for decades, basically. But they had a massive rebrand back in, I think it was 2013. And that rebrand is what put them on the map today. They decided to go against the grain and create really bold packaging that stood out in their marketplace. And now they're like an industry leader. Sort of hearing the head of marketing talk about how important that is and how it's, critical to be open to these creative opportunities to be bold was just really empowering. As someone who bangs on about landing and being bold in your creative, hearing a success story like Faith in Nature, who directly ties its success to how it's worked its brand, how it's marketed its brand, and brand being king and how they've become so big, was just really, really inspiring. The next point I wanted to mention was just around, I think all the brands talked about this, about building a community around your brand. So we've talked about this a few times on this channel about how important it is now for a brand to almost be seen like a bit of a TV channel or entertainment platform where it builds a community, and those community are your loyal customers, right? And all the brands talked about this, how important that is, how important it is to speak with those customers and community. Again, just the marketing manager, marketing director at Biscoff talked about how one of the critical paths that directed Biscoff's brand into being as successful as it is today was that they did a survey, got feedback from the customer base and the community, and really doubled down on that feedback, and that led them to become an industry leader like they have done today. So they're also listening to the community and reacting to what they're asking for, and it's that kind of to and fro between it. And also, Faith in Nature talks about this as well, where part of growing with that community isn't to kind of just wedge your way into the conversation. So, for example, if there's a Reddit post about a certain soap, for example, you don't barge your way into that community. You kind of have to earn that. And there's a few different ways you can do that. It's commenting. You've got to come with the sort of friend, really. The brand needs to be seen more as a friend to you and someone that complements your life rather than someone who kind of wedges their way into the conversation. And I'll do a bit more of a long LinkedIn post about this, but yeah, that was the kind of big thing about being complementary. It's something I'd never really thought of before, but Biscoff said when they first started looking for partners to partner up with flavor-wise, they reached out to Dunkin' Donuts, and they said they knocked on so many doors, but the reason they got through was that they just positioned themselves as being complementary to another brand. And I suppose that idea of being complementary to someone's life or a customer's life is really important as a brand as well. So many other things that are floating around my head from this event, but I feel like I need to just consolidate them into like a LinkedIn post. So I'll get that sorted for the next week. But yeah, that was kind of a run through of the day. After that, we went to get a kebab. I chatted to a few people from different industries and marketing places, some great people in NatWest I was talking to. And yeah, we just went and got a kebab, headed home, fed the dog, and got in bed with a brew. But yeah, my days will normally start like that though. I will be up and out by like 6 o'clock at the gym most days, back in at home by 7, and either I'll get a shower and crack on with work from 7 and run straight through till like 6, or I'm traveling to work and doing the same thing. And then on weekends, I'll also get up really early, get up at like 6. My gym doesn't open until like 8, so I'll normally get up at 6, catch up on some bits before the day unfolds. If I've got like social activities, I'll go and do that. But then I will normally do like a few hours in the morning beforehand on a Saturday and a Sunday, and normally on a Sunday work a bit of the afternoon as well. And I know how that sounds. It sounds like I'm a big workaholic, but honestly, I just think I'm driven. Like, I'm so driven to grow and to succeed. And, you know, I've worked like this for years now as a freelancer, and that's helped me hone my craft. You know, I had a lot of early stages in my career where people told me I wasn't good enough for what I did, and, you know, that probably put a bit of a fire in my belly to prove them wrong and to show that I am an amazing designer and I'm great at what I do. And, you know, it's taken a lot to get to this stage, and we're just starting to. And I don't say this as like a badge of honor or for pity or anything like that. I genuinely love what I do. I love the challenge of it. Running this business is a passion of mine, and I'm passionate about growing it and succeeding. And I think a lot of that probably comes from a bit of a combination of my granddad, who's run multiple businesses, is an immense success and a real inspiration to me. You know, he's 80 now, and I still get emails from him at like midnight, and it's just an inspiration to show the power of hard work and where it can get you to. And it's the same with like my old creative director as well, Rob, who runs the agency, The Drawing Room. He is a humongous inspiration on me creatively and as a mentor as well. And again, just such an advocate for like what hard work can do. And like when you really lock in, you can achieve so much. And Rob used to always say when we were working really late at night on creative projects, you know, Jordan, steel is forged in the fire. And it's true, man. It's so true. And I don't pride myself on being, you know, the best in the world, but I do pride myself in being one of the damn hardest working ones in the world. With all this in mind though, and all this sort of talk, you know, I am conscious of burnout too. I've talked to a few creative directors and stuff about this, and even though I work most days to help grow my business and put everything I've got into it, which is what most business owners do. You've got to put everything into it, otherwise it's not going to grow. I am conscious of burnout, and if there's a time where I just feel like I'm not performing my best here, I'll just step back. I'll take a few hours, and then I'll go back in and smash it. But yeah, that's just me at the end of the day. But yeah, let me know what you think about sort of time management and hard working and stuff. I'm keen to get some feedback and just hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, that's it for this week. Next week, we're going to do a little bit of an interview Q&A with James, who featured in this video, all about development and websites and where we're heading with all that, with all this growing in AI and AEO. There's a lot to talk about website-wise. We're going to do a bit of an interview with him next week. So until then, catch you on the flip side.